Hey guys, today I want to discuss an install that we're having on a 79 series single cab ute. And the big thing is that it's always great to do pre-prep, and this is a perfect example. Basically Paul gave us a ring up, says mate he wants to fit it, got a few sizes from us and a bit of recommendation. And the nice thing is that's a standard Toyota headboard, and we have a standard Toyota flat tray on this vehicle. Basically, once you've got positioning of the rear bar, they added in the rear bar, which was fantastic, brought that in. And what we are able to do now is simply see how we're going to be mounting the tent on to this. Now, a few nice bits and pieces on this build is these little crush tubes that our client made up before they came in. So this is going to slot into the pipe so that when we clamp it down and bolt it down, it's not going to squash or crush the pipe. So that's a great bit of kit and really going to help us out. Basically what we're going to be adding on is our new Z-rail. So these are the 35mm Z-rail with a whole bunch of slots in both sides of it, allowing us to move it forward or backwards. Now the goal of this is basically the ultimate fishing rig hauler. So big boat on the back end, tent on the top, and we want to leave the space open on the rear for two large fridges. Obviously these guys catch a lot of fish, so great to fill those up. The next plan is to mount this on the top end like that and position it up whether we want it to go more forward or more to the rear. You'll notice as well we've got the tapered front end on this, and that's to allow more clearance on the cab of the vehicle itself. So when the cab is flexing independently from the tray, as they do, you're not going to get the tent touching down on the front end. So next job, mark up the positioning, measure the holes, do a bit of drilling, and let's get mounting. So we've attached the 25mm bolts M8 in the extrusions underneath the tent, basically 2 in each one, and those are going to slot into the pre-laser cut holes in the top of the Z-rail, so it should be a pretty easy fit. Now yeah, we've got a choice of going to two different settings, either the back holes or the front holes on the top of the Z-rails, and what we're going to be sorting out now is the positioning in the center of the vehicle as well as the positioning to the front and the rear before we drop it down. So let's do some measurements. So basically what I'm doing now is measuring to the center of each of the Z-rails. So we are at 1 meter, 180 mils. Basically finding the center of that, which is 550, 559. So yeah, 559 will be the center. So lining that up roughly and putting the bolts out to the 1 meter. So basically in the center of the tent, dead center are the pre-drill holes as well. So we can go basically your 559 there, and it'll give us a good idea of where we're going to be sitting. Like so. And just space them out accordingly, roughly evenly, and then we'll come and get the positioning on next. Alrighty, let's lower it down. Right, now I'm leaving the forklift in place at the moment. You know, you can use a crane or get a couple mates if you really want to and pick it up there. This way I can just line it up exactly where I want it, like such. And there we go. Now the last measurement that I take is from the side of the Z-rail extrusion basically to the outside edge of the tent. I like using this aluminium edge there as a straight line because your tape measure lines it up a lot easier than the outside edge with the eye. It's a more definite edge, let's put it that way. So just checking that, 65 mil. Check this outside, and this is a lot shorter, so she's going to come left anyway. So you're probably going to be looking at about 35 mil in this instance, or there's 40. Double check it on this end. 45. So that's us, 42 and 42. So that's what we're going to be looking at now, and then just getting in these last little bolts. That's the first one in. That's it. Now we're just going to repeat the process on the other 6 and then put a washer on and a nut and tighten it down, and we're done. So there we have it. We lined it all up, bolted it all down, and the tent is in the positioning that we wanted to put it at. And as you can see, great use of space store in the truck. You can load up really tall objects in the back here as well, and underneath the tent, giving you a bit of protection from the elements for your fridges, eskies, you name it. Now, the Bush Company tent, really simple. Just pop the latches. That opens up all by itself as usual, and then you've got the 2 spring steel rods, which we just slot into place like that. And that's basically ready up for the night. Such a easy pack up and down, ready for the fish in the morning. Anyway guys, thank you for watching the install video. For more information on the products as well, pop to our website at www.thebushcompany.net. Thanks for watching.